Hello, Kinaway members and the Kinaway community. Thank you for joining us for another one of our webinars. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which I am coming to you all from. And I'd also like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land in which each and every one of us are tuning in from, and pay respects to the elders past, present, and emerging. Quickly before we get this show on the road, I'd like to remind you all that we have a fantastic archive of informative webinars on various topics that are available on our Facebook and YouTube channels. So please feel free to go jump on there at any stage and make yourself familiar with that content. Especially now that we are in lockdown, there's a lot of entertainment there for you. So check those out. Along with the webinars, Kinaway is still offering the usual forms of business support for our members. Obviously, lockdown, it won't be face-to-face, but if you need, feel free to reach out if you need any assistance or support of any kind. The man that we have as our guest today is also one of those avenues of support, so we'll mention more about that soon. Okay, now that that is all out of the way, let's give a warm welcome to our wonderful guest this morning, Kinaway's mental health and wellbeing clinician, Brendan Heed.
Morning, Katani. How are you?
I am doing good. I'm just thinking about everybody in Melbourne at the moment, and my heart's going out to them. But I've got nothing to complain about really. So, how are you going?
Good. Yeah, I've just a bit of deja vu, but also, anxieties have been risen due to the last announcements with lockdowns. So that's probably what we're going to talk about a little bit today. Even though we've been here before, and it's little comfort really.
Yeah. Yes, I've been having conversations with people over the phone, Kinaway members reaching out, and it just seems to be one of those things, and it's hopefully going to just be a snap lockdown, but hopefully this webinar today for you guys watching will help you feel just a little bit better. And Brendan's great at making you feel better, so I'm happy to have you here today.
Okay, so shall we get into it, Katani? Look, we talked about and announced that we were going to do a webinar today. We announced that last week, and a lot of people may have seen it, that we were going to do a little session on sleep health. Sleep is important, and a lot of us don't get enough. And so we were going to do a little session on sleep health and some little strategies that we can use to improve our sleep. But then our focus changed during the week. With some announcements of some new cases of coronavirus. So on Tuesday, I think we decided and announced that we were going to do a session on anticipatory anxiety. Anticipatory anxiety it's anxiety, but it's more around the discomforting. It's a discomforting mind game that you play with yourself. Some examples might be if you're going to the dentist, you might feel anxious. If you're getting ready to sit a test, you might feel anxious. If you've got an upcoming meeting with a manager or a supervisor, you might start feeling anxious. So you can kind of see the pattern. It's all about expecting the expectation of something stressful. This is what it means to experience anticipatory anxiety. You dread the future without evidential cause. So it's a common symptom that is part of a larger social anxiety diagnosis and often characterized by physical symptoms. So you might find yourself with an increased heart rate or a faster pulse, shallow breathing, growing tension that can cause upset stomachs and bring on headaches, and as well as some sweating, all of which arise when thinking about an upcoming event. So the anticipatory anxiety was going to be our session today, but now it's all changed due to the lockdown, because we're not anticipating anxiety, we're actually in it. So what I wanted to talk to everyone about today, just quickly, is resilience, which is what we're all going to need over the course of the next week. And let's all just hope that it is a week, hopefully even less. Let's see if we can get through these next few days. But resilience refers to the ability to successfully adapt to stresses while maintaining psychological well-being in the face of adversity. And so simply put, it's the ability to bounce back from difficult experiences. Resilience is not a trait that people either have or don't have. It involves behaviours, thoughts and actions that can be learned and developed by everyone. Resilience is about being adaptable, and it's about being flexible. It's about recognising that you've got strengths and perhaps you never knew you had until you needed to use them. Like many things in life, the more you practice, the more you learn. The more you discover about resilience and your ability to cultivate it within yourself, the more resilient you become. Resilience isn't about toughing it out or reacting to every setback with a smile. Even the most resilient people feel sad and angry, frustrated when faced with a setback. They just find creative ways to tackle challenges with hope and positive attitude. They find ways to bounce back from ups and downs of life and move forward. Some people are born with a strong sense of resilience. Others develop these skills later in life and over time. Some factors within resilience or effective resilience is supportive relationships. Support from home, support from loved ones, partners, parents, and there's also another positive factor or another useful factor to have resilience is the capacity to carry out plans. It's okay to have them, and it's also good to have good intentions, but the capacity to carry and follow those through is a big factor for a person who has strong resilience. Also, a positive view of yourself. You're a good person. You do good things. You've got good friends, and that's because you are a good person. So a positive view of yourself is another important factor to have strong resilience and confidence in your abilities. And we're not talking about over the top, I'm the best at this and I'm the best at that, but when faced with a challenge, you can back yourself in and say, you know what, I can do this. I can get through this. Having very good communication skills is another excellent avenue to having strong resilience. Problem-solving skills and also ability to manage impulses. Anyone who's a smoker or a drinker, if you can
Not
manage
me.
those impulses, that's also an important factor to having very good resilience. The qualities of resilient people are people who look for opportunities within problems. So at the moment, a lot of our business owners and businesses have got some problems for the next week. The resilient people look within those problems for some opportunities. For example, that we know of a couple of the businesses when we had the lockdowns last year, there were some people who sort of changed their business model from a customer face-to-face model to a big online presence. And that got them through that. And that was just through thinking of opportunities within a difficult situation. Have a positive attitude. Find your own power in every situation. What gets you through? What helps? And overcoming difficulties and learning from your mistakes is another good quality for resilient people. So here are some ways to increase your resilience. And look, I'm looking down on my notes at the moment. So if I'm not looking at the camera, don't take offense. I've just got some notes down. But some ways to increase your resilience. Maintain a sense of perspective. Ask yourself, how big is this problem really? And what do I need to do? Remember not to blow things out of proportion or catastrophize. Remind yourself of the good in your life, and the things really will change. So when we say the good in our life, what are we grateful for? Are we grateful that we've got food in the fridge? Are we grateful we've got a roof over our head? Are we grateful that we've got some special people in our lives? These are the things that we try and remind ourselves of what's good in our life. Another thing you can do is recognize that you have a choice on how to handle these challenges. So you cannot control what happens to you, what you choose and how you choose, but how you choose to respond. So you can choose to react to changes and problems with hope and a positive attitude. So just like we've been through with the last lockdowns, we got through it and we were okay. And that's the way I look at it at the moment as well, is, it's tough and we're going to have to adapt. We're going to have to change a few things. But at the end of the day, I do strongly believe that we'll get through it and we'll be okay. Accept change is another good way of becoming more resilient. So change and uncertainty are just a part of life. When you accept this, you'll be better able to react to change with flexibility. We're changing all the time. In fact, since this webinar started, I reckon close to 100,000 of my cells have changed. So we're always changing. We're always evolving. You may not feel it. You may not see it, but it's happening. It happens all the time. Another way to build resilience is anticipate some challenges. So focus on the positive ways you can meet challenges rather than possible negative outcomes. This will help you feel more in control and less overwhelmed. Learn how to calm yourself. This is a big one. And you can talk to any, psychologists and psychiatrists around the world. Relaxing, calm yourself. When you feel yourself reacting to a challenge with escalating stress and anxiety, take steps to calm yourself. Now, I think you and I, Tony, did a little one about breathing. That is a brilliant way to relax and calm yourself, is just some real nice, slow, deep breathing. There are also many, many, many other strategies that you can use. I have a big box full of strategies around how to relax and how to calm ourselves. If anyone feels like they can't control that and they feel like they are stressing and they can't bring themselves back into the present, give me a call, and hopefully most of you members know the number by now. It's 1-800-KINAWAY. I've got a lot of great tools on how to relax and how to de-stress and calm ourselves. Excuse me. Another factor on how to build resilience is to overcome your fear. So everyone feels fear, right? Especially when faced with a change. However, fear can hold you back from new experiences and opportunities for growth. If you're faced with a challenge that feels scary or overwhelming, start with the simplest thing you can do that takes you in the direction of where you want to go. Ask yourself, what's the smallest thing I can do to get started? Once you've thought about it, do it. Let go of your anger is very important for people who want to build resilience. A difficult challenge can cause you to feel angry and upset. These feelings are normal, but they won't help you move forward. Work through your anger. Try to let go of negative feelings by writing them down or talking. There's a big push at the moment for people to put their hand up and ask for some help. But you're not really asking for help. It's more about finding a trusted or a friend or a loved one, a loved family member, and talking through it, talking how you're feeling, particularly when you've got that anger building up inside you. Another method for building resilience is take action. So avoid dwelling on problems. Focus on solutions instead. Figure out what you can do and then do it, just one step at a time. And lastly, and don't shoot the messenger here, but lastly, laugh. Have a laugh. Even when things seem to be falling apart around you, try to find time to smile and laugh. It's very healing, and it will help you forget your worries for a few moments. Watch a movie that makes you laugh. Put on something on Netflix that will make you laugh, and spend some time with a friend that has a good sense of humor. We've all got one. So here's 10 ways to build resilience. A key to building resilience is to identify ways that are likely to work well for you as part of your own personal strategy. So not all of these will work for everyone. Making connections. Good relationships with close family members, friends or others are important. Accepting help and support for those who care about you and will listen to your strengths, resilience. Avoid seeing crises as insurmountable problems. So you can't change the fact that highly stressful events happen, but you can change how you interpret and respond to these events. Try looking beyond the present to how future circumstances may be a little better. Note any subtle ways in which you might already feel somewhat better as you deal with difficult situations. Accept that change is part of living. We talked about change. Certain goals may no longer be attainable as a result of adverse situations. So accepting circumstances that cannot be changed can help you focus on circumstances that you can alter and move towards your goal. Develop some realistic goals. Do something regularly, even if it seems like a small accomplishment that enables you to move towards your goal. Instead of focusing on tasks that seem unachievable, ask yourself, what's one thing I can do today that helps me move in the direction that I want to go? Take decisive actions. Act on adverse situations as much as you can. Take decisive actions rather than detaching completely from problems and stresses and wishing they just would go away. Some of us do that. Yeah. Look for opportunities for self-discovery. So people often learn something about themselves and may find that they have grown in some respect as a result of their struggle with loss. Many people who have experienced tragedies and hardship have reported better relationships, greater sense of strength, even while feeling vulnerable, increased sense of worth, a more developed spirituality, and heightened appreciation for life. And nurture that positive view about yourself. Develop confidence in your ability to solve problems, and trusting your instincts helps build resilience. Keep things in perspective, even when facing with very painful events like we're going through. Try to consider the stressful situation
One
in a
second.
broader.
My dog's barking, so I'm going to mute myself. Brendan, keep going.
Mine's playing with the ball. I'll keep going.
Yeah, sorry, your puppy's way better behaved than my cheeky girl. You just keep going up. She's seeming to quiet down.
Look, yeah, so try and avoid blowing the event out of proportion. Maintain a hopeful outlook. An optimistic outlook enables you to expect that good things will happen in your life. Try visualizing what you want rather than worrying about what you fear. And take care of yourself. Pay attention to your own needs and feelings. Engage in activities that you enjoy and find relaxing. Exercise regularly. Taking care of yourself helps to keep your mind and body primed to deal with situations that require resilience. During the next week, or what we may have already experienced over the last few days, is a lot of stress. And stress is common. We all go through it. Some of us take it to the next level and it becomes debilitating. But stress is an unavoidable part of life. From time to time, everyone experiences increased levels of stress. And if left unaddressed, stress can continue to build and affect your health and ability to cope with life. This process can occur with chronic stress that builds gradually over time, or with acute stress that suddenly overwhelms our ability to cope. That's why social support and self-care are important. They can help us see your problems in perspective and stressful feelings ease up. Sometimes stress can be good. Like, for example, if it can help you develop skills needed to manage potentially threatening situations in life. However, stress can be harmful when it is severe enough to make you feel overwhelmed and out of control. Strong emotions like fear, sadness, or other symptoms of depression are normal, as long as they are temporary and don't interfere with daily activities. If these emotions last too long or cause other problems, it's a different stories. So I'll just go through some simple symptoms of stress for people who are having some different kinds of feelings and emotions at the moment. These can be some of your symptoms of stress. Physical or emotion tension are often signs of stress. They can be reactions to a situation like we're going through, or if you feel threatened or anxious. And stress can, as I said, can be positive. Like, for example, if you are planning a wedding, you could be stressing about that, and they can be negative, like what we're trying to deal with at the moment with these lockdowns. So common reactions to stress include disbelief and shock. There's tension, irritability, fear, and anxiety about the future. So that's that catastrophizing. Difficulty making decisions, being numb to one's feelings, So that's, other people's feelings as well. You sort of lose a little bit of empathy, loss of interest in your normal activities. You can't be bothered going for the walk or walk the dog or anything like that. Your loss of appetite, your regular eating habits can go out the window, and then you can just start snacking. You can actually have nightmares. It can bring on some anger, increased use of alcohol and drugs. Um, Sadness and other symptoms of depression, feeling powerless. It's out of your hands. It's out of control. Crying, sleep problems, which we'll do one day down the track, and headaches, backaches, stomach problems, and just generally trouble concentrating. And the best ways to manage stress in hard times are through self-care. So I'll just go through a couple of tips, a couple of quick ones. Again, guys, if you are struggling with stress and anxiety, the number is there. I'm available for a confidential chat anytime. It's part of the Kinaway service, and I can go into these factors a lot deeper, depending on your situations, to help you relieve you from some stress and from some anxiety. But to avoid drugs and alcohol, they seem to be a temporary fix to feel better, don't they? But in the long run, they can create more problems and add to your stress instead of take it away. Find some support. So seek help from a partner, a family member, friend. But you can even go as far as a counsellor, someone that's a wellbeing clinician, or even your doctor, your GP, can help you with your stress. It's funny, having a sympathetic and listening ear and sharing about your problems and stress can really lighten the burden just by talking about it. Connect socially, guys. So after a stressful event, it is easy to isolate yourself. Make sure that you're spending time with loved ones. Consider planning some fun activities with your partner, your kids or your friends, and take care of yourself. So eating well, a balanced meal. We all say it. We've heard it all before, but the meat and 3 veg theory, it is excellent for you if you can get back on track with eating a bit more healthily, with a balanced diet. Exercise is the other one. We've all heard that before, but take it on board. It only takes I read the other day, if you do something 11 days in a row, it becomes habit. Now, we're not getting up and going to work, a lot of us at the moment. So why don't we get up at our normal time? For me, it's 7. And instead of jumping in the shower and getting ready for work, put on your Nikes, go for a walk, try it, and try it again tomorrow, and try it again on Sunday. And by the time you get to next Sunday, you'll find it is part of your daily routine. Really good for you. Getting plenty of sleep's very important. To manage your stress. A lot of us struggle with getting down at a regular time and getting some solid sleep. We'll do some work on that later, Katani, with some webinars we'll plan for our sleep health. But getting plenty of sleep is crucial. Give yourself a break if you feel stressed out. Now, has anyone ever considered just going for a therapeutic massage? Getting one of those done. In fact, you probably can't at the moment, but it is certainly something that you can have a think about and take on board when things get back to normal after next week, and maintain a normal routine. So, as I said, I will still get up at 7 o'clock. I will still have my breakfast, and I will still have my cup of coffee at the normal time, and I'll still have lunch at my normal time, except it won't be at work. It'll probably be on the couch, and I'll put something on Netflix for an hour. But that will be my daily routine. That helps me get through the day and keeps things normal for me. But stay active. You can take your mind off your problems by helping a neighbour, volunteering in the community, or even taking the dog for a walk. These can all be positive ways to channel your feelings. Lastly, Gatani, I just wanted to talk to everyone about what we know and what did we learn from the last lockdown. We know that we can get through it and we'll be okay. What we learned last time was that, if we follow the rules and wear a mask, we can get through this hopefully sooner than what they expect. They've said 7 days. Let's see if we can follow the rules, get through it, and get out of it in, say, 5 days. But stay positive, guys. It's a kick in the teeth for us all, but we are all going to be okay. Get through it. surround yourself with loved ones, stay connected with your friends and family, and we'll see you all out the other side. That's about it.
Yeah. I loved, I was taking so many mental notes, even just for myself. And I took some actual notes, just, I don't know, just little things that I was thinking about as you were going through it.
Yep.
I really relate to and like the idea of thinking when it comes to self-worth and esteem and like how that can help you get through and like
Yep.
build resilience.
Yep.
I noticed I'm the sort of person to not, for that to actually to be hard to really say to yourself, no, you're good at this,
Yes.
or this
Yeah.
is a positive thing that you have. So I don't
Yeah.
know, just as someone that can relate to that, my thought
Yeah.
was like, yeah, you have to be real about it. You
Yeah.
can be humble or, to a point where it's like lower self-esteem, but you just have to be
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
real with yourself and know that
Yeah.
you're a good person.
Yeah,
Um,
focusing on your strengths is really positive because you don't want to sit there and go, geez, I've I've never jumped out of a plane, or I'm no
mhm,
good at I don't know, accounting and all that.
mhm,
Don't worry about that. What are you good at? I've got great friends. That means I must be a good person to be around. So
mhm,
really focus on that and act on it and reach out,
yeah.
or whatever else that you're good at. I make a really good cocktail. I'm gonna get
Oh,
the stuff
yeah.
out and I'm gonna make a cocktail. But you know what I mean? It's all about focusing on what you're good at, what you feel
Mm,
like your strengths are, and really, really harnessing in on those strengths.
yes. Just before, I've got two more points, and then I'll stop
Yep.
harassing you.
No
But
worries.
just thinking, yeah, just things that I guess I can relate to on a personal note because I'm not a mental health and well-being clinician. But
Yep.
yeah, like catastrophizing is something I've had a lot of experience with. And like I think sometimes when you think of a problem, you think that you're going through like a risk assessment and you're like, no,
Yes.
I'm just thinking of the risks or I'm just trying to
Yep.
be prepared. And it is good
Yep.
to do that. But yeah,
Yep.
catastrophizing feels like when you're doing that, but too much and
Yeah.
creating the
Yeah.
problem to be bigger than what it is. But yeah,
There
so
are there
yeah,
are a
you go.
couple of little tricks around that because we all do it.
Mm,
We worry about what's happened in the past, and we
mm,
catastrophize about what certain results and the and what may happen. So the trick with that is to stay in the now, stay present.
mm,
One quick little trick I can give you is to find a quiet spot at home and start going through the five things. What are five things I can
mm,
see? What are five things I can hear? What are five things I can smell? And what are five things I can touch? And by the time you've sort of done that, it's actually quite handy to do when you're going for a walk because you can actually sell
mm,
a lot more smells can hit you, and a lot more senses. You can hear some traffic, or you can smell some of the
mm.
trees and the flowers. The problem with going for a walk at say 6 or 6:30 at night is you can smell everyone's cooking as you're walking through the neighbourhood. That's
Oh,
no good.
yeah.
You just want to get home and have a packet of chips. But doing that little trick, staying present by doing the five things, can just keep you in the now, and it can
Mm,
stop you from worrying about what's happened before or catastrophizing about a result that may not even
mm.
happen.
Yeah, it's an easy path to go down mentally,
Yeah,
but it takes just a
particularly
little
now.
bit of that. Yeah,
Particularly
especially
now.
now.
Yeah, our minds are going all over the place. So yeah, try and practice to
Mm,
stay in the now. Yeah.
yeah, and you'll be better off for it, and you'll just feel better for it.
Mm.
Um,
Yep.
And then my last little point that you mentioned kind of earlier on in this webinar, but you're talking about being adaptable, and thinking. I think it was to do with thinking through solutions.
Yep.
And if you guys, whoever's watching, if you saw last week's webinar, you would have seen Jacinta and Michael, who are two, members of ours and they're business owners, but they did a level of adapting as well. So it's like no matter what industry or sector that you're in, people are going through that, understand how you feel, and they're all adapting as well. And I think that's like a really a good thing to do. I wouldn't know personally. I'm not a business owner like all of you, but I think that that's goes to show it's not just you, and everybody's got a collective feeling about this quarantining.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So,
our members generally are very strong people. They're business owners.
oh
They're
yeah.
doers. They don't mind taking a risk, but they also just need to, take a sit back and have a look and just make sure that our feelings are in check, our behaviours are okay, and like I said a couple of times, we'll be okay. We'll get through it. We've done it before.
That's the motto, everybody, for this
Mm,
time. And,
yeah.
let's hope it's a snap lockdown. I think it will be. We're all used to how to lock down and quarantine and all of that stuff. So
Mm.
I personally am going to think optimistically, and I'll be sending out my love and prayers and thoughts to everybody during this time. But do you have any other reminders that you'd like to let our members know, or our community?
Well,
Or
yeah, look, it's bad timing, isn't it, with Conciliation Week starting
mm,
yesterday?
yeah.
So, yeah, look, there were lots of probably, a lot of plans for us all when it came to attending events and ceremonies. So the timing's
Mm,
just been crap when it comes to that stuff. But
mm,
that also, I think, tells us that culturally, we're a resilient bunch by
mm.
nature. So that's what we're going to focus on is getting through it. We've been here before and we'll be okay.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh, well, I hope that you guys all feel a little bit lighter and a little bit better, because I know I do. I think just about everything Brendan's mentioned today is directly affects me as well, especially the having to exercise and sleep better and eat
Yeah.
better.
Yeah,
And not,
it's a tough one. It starts with day. It starts with one, and it doesn't have to be far. It doesn't have
yeah,
to be far, but get it. But it's the action of putting on the tracksuit pants, putting on the sneakers, and
yeah,
actually going. You don't have to go far, and when you come back, you can jump in the shower and get your work clothes on and go about your day, and then tomorrow it's a little bit easier. You're not going to believe it, but it is just that little bit easier to go and do it.
yeah.
Try it, guys. Try it. For the guys who aren't doing a regular exercise, yeah, let's go for a walk and get some of that fresh, cool air into our lungs.
Yay. I think my puppy dog, little Miss Misty, who was barking
Yeah,
earlier, she will be very
yeah.
happy to hear that.
Good,
But thank
good.
you so much, Brendan. That's just
Thanks
been
for
so
Tony.
helpful. I'm going to share this
No
webinar around,
probs.
especially to my family. So yeah, I would like to thank everyone who has joined us today, and a special, big, gigantic thanks to Brendan Heed for joining us for this morning's discussion. I hope you all have enjoyed it as much as I have. Again, if you wish to catch up on some of our previous workshops, Brendan's got an amazing catalogue of mental health related videos, and we did one together, which I edited. So I'll be posting those somewhere that you guys can see during this lockdown. But yeah, we've got previous workshops similar to this one, panel discussions, interviews. So just jump on the Kinaway Facebook and YouTube channels to see those. Remember, what is the number, Brendan, for getting in contact with you? I believe
1-800 Kinaway.
Beautiful.
1-800
Yay.
Kinaway. Give me a call, guys, anytime,
1-800.
Monday to Friday, 9 till 5. Just reach out, say hello. The phone is with me, so anytime you want to have a chat, you're more than welcome. Please do. It's, as I said, it's completely private, it's confidential, and it's part of the Kinaway service. There's no cost to you guys at all.
Yay. Well, thank you all again. Thank you so much. And I hope you all have a safe lockdown, and I'll see you hopefully soon.
Yeah, you too.
All right. Thank you so much, Brendan.
Thanks,
See you,
pal. Okay.
everybody.
Have a good weekend.
Bye.
See everyone. Bye.